Hey there, YouTube. I don't really post much on here. I'll be surprised if I even get any views on this other than the way I'm going to title it. But what I'm about to talk about, I'm not going to throw too much out there because I'm afraid if I say the way this theory's put in my head, if I'm right, the government's going to want to silence it. This video, I actually just got done scrolling through all cryptocurrency videos that I could look through anyway. And all the videos on the Real ID coming mandatory for all federal U.S. citizens, I guess you could say, starting October of 2020. Now, I didn't hear about this Real ID. I mean, I had heard about it, didn't really give it any attention, till I went to the DMV the other day and there was a big old sign posted on the door. We do not have the Real IDs. Here's the locations where you can get them. Mandatory by da-da-da. We all know cryptocurrencies are based upon blockchains. Blockchains being digital ledgers. Basically data mines. Places to store information. To have a public record that is private. U.S. government dead set against it. SEC dead set against it. Everybody has their own conspiracy theory, I guess you could call it, whatever. But based upon the research I've done, and I'm sure some people are going to watch this that may be more informed than me and some that may not be, and I don't really care. This is just based off what I've seen and what my interpretations and intelligence has kind of led me to believe. So, you have two IDs. You have your normal ID everybody gets right now. But by 2020, everybody's going to be required to have what's called a Real ID. This ID is going to allow you to board planes, enter federal facilities, yada yada. And if you kind of look, it'll have a star on it. The other IDs, you can still use them. But you got to carry around a passport now. Or 2 or 3 other forms of ID with you. And you won't be allowed to do this, that, whatever. But if you notice, it looks to me like it's going to say on there, not a federal ID, or not for federal use, or some shit like that. Basically what it is it's saying, yeah, if you want to just walk around town for this, that, the other, you can have that ID, but you're not really you unless you have this ID. You could be Bob Wiganowski living as Joe Torre. You could have whatever. Just because you got an ID with a name on it now that's issued by a state, that doesn't mean it's you. That's what they're saying. If you don't have this Real ID, You could be carrying around a fake. Supposedly it's got all these security features, which if it's following what I think is going to happen, it probably does. From what we're being told, for the real ID, you now have to give a thumbprint, your birth certificate, your social security card, uh, proof that you live here in the United States in the form of some sort of document that states it. They said, utility or mortgage, whatever, da da da. All of a sudden, they want my fingerprint, my DNA, the one thing that makes me unique. Other than my personality, my soul, and we're not going there. But the one thing that is ours, that nobody else in this world has but us, is our fingerprints. So now we got to give them our fingerprints. They want our birth certificate, which they got a copy of when we were born. They want us to give them another copy. They want us to give them another copy of our social security number. The one form that they gave us that they have a copy of already. And the one catch that really got me, that pinned it all together, and nobody whispered it, nobody stuttered it, said it plain as day. All of this information will be stored in a new database. New? Databases have been around a while. All of a sudden, cryptocurrency is starting to get a little more mainstream. Cryptocurrencies are known for being a publicly viewable ledger of stored information that is encrypted to be hidden from anybody that doesn't have a specific key. Your real ID is your key. Who holds that key? The U.S. fucking government. So what do I think they're doing? They're now putting a copy of our fingerprints, a copy of our birth certificate, a copy of our social security card, a copy of our utility bill or mortgage payment or whatever, all nice and neatly bundled with a whole bunch of other ones, into a ledger that anybody on that blockchain can view the transaction. They don't know what it is. They just know, they know what it is, but anyway, anybody in the crypto space can kind of understand. It's encrypted so nobody knows the details, but they can see the transactions. They can see who is moving where, what. You just don't know the identity of that who, when, where, what moving, or the information that it's stored, because it's encrypted. You're not meant to know. The only ones meant to know are the ones that hold that key, the governments. Now, all of us in the crypto space are all about decentralization and protecting our privacy. I am too. That's why the real ID thing is so disturbing to me. All of a sudden, the government is forcing us to re-provide information that they already have on every last one of us, to be stored in a new database to where I forget exactly how it was put, and I just watched the video. Sorry, guys, it's late, and this has just been bothering me. I'm tired, so... But basically, a new database, all of this stuff's being stored, and now you can't do anything in the federal government without this ID. And evidently it's got biometrics in it, and it's supposed to be unable to be forged. You know, you can't make a fake, this can't be made into a fake ID, whatever. But at the same time, like I said, I'm tired. I'm scared to say too much because, like I said, I have not found any other video that has even touched on the fact that the real ID is the government's step one in mass adoption of cryptocurrencies, whether we like it or not. Now, I heard one video say at the very end, everybody's afraid of, you know, we're giving the government this control, we're being forced all this. And I heard him say, we have been assured by the government that it's not going to be held in a central database. How true that is, I don't know. I mean, don't quote me as being a fucking all-knowing, you know, interwoven person, because I'm not. I'm just an average day Joe that is smart enough to read between the lines and catches the subtle hints that have been right in our face ever since we were born. The government doesn't technically lie to us. They tell us everything. We're just too stupid to notice it when they do let the little thing slip, because they're so good at hiding it. Step one, you now have our fingerprint. You have all of our birth records, all stored in a database. Supposedly, this database is not centralized. What does that mean? I'm sorry, if it's not centralized, it's got to be decentralized. Wait, isn't a blockchain supposed to be decentralized? Store of value, store of information. I mean, and they're forcing us to get these IDs. Otherwise, we can't enter a government facility. We can't enter the Social Security office. We can't enter a courthouse. I mean, all to prove who we are. Step two, mark my words, it's not going to be soon. Hell, the switch from checks to credit cards took quite a while. You know, we just went and started up a checking account the other day, and the young lady at the bank was like, do you really even need checks? I mean, you're getting your debit card today. I mean, we can give you checks, but are you going to use them? No. Okay, well, here's the register and the nice little pretty book that we would give you your checks in. But we're not going to give you the checks because you don't need them, you don't want them. Oh, wait. You do know you save a few dollars if you get your bank statement online, so we don't have to send you a paper one. Why don't we keep all our records digitized? Come on, people. Anybody that truly believes that a digital takeover is not in our future, you must still be in denial. I guarantee you, mark my words, as a matter of fact, I will bet hell. I ain't even going to go there because I know that I'm going to get filled with comments of motherfuckers just, yeah. Let's just say in the year 2040, if anybody's watching this video in the year 2040, I'm going to leave a Bitcoin address in the description. Drop me 20 Bitcoin in 2040. If what I'm about to say happens. This is how confident I am. By the year 2040, all of a sudden, your banks are now, instead of sending you these chipped cards they did just a few years back, you're going to get a letter in the mail and it's going to say, as of January 1st, whatever, we will no longer be issuing you a debit card. Instead, you will now be able to just use your photo ID. That will be your debit card. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's take it one step further. In this process, somewhere along the lines, the government's going to sneak in a way to give every American their own banking account. This way, nobody can bring up the fact that there are people that can't afford to use a bank, don't know how, So we're going to just give everybody a bank account. This way, everybody can have an equal chance to hold their wealth. You know what? Let's make this easy on all of you. Instead of having to remember your driver's license number, your credit card number, debit card number, your bank account number, we're going to make it so much easier on you guys. We're going to do away with all of these different account numbers you have to remember. All you have to remember now is your driver's license number, your real ID number. Because now your real ID number is now your bank account number. Wait a minute. So now my ID not only is my thumbprint, my birth certificate, my social security card, my proof that I have utilities in the residence, all in a nice decentralized database. But now, instead of having a name, instead of having all of this and all these identifying marks, now my driver's license number tracks my finance too. I'll be damned. I am my own banker now. Everything's digitized. I don't have to do checks. I just give them my ID card and it'll tell them if I've got it or not. Something tells me the way they're going to plan this is they're going to roll something out where every American is going to have their own direct link to the Federal Reserve. They are going to, every ID number is now linked to a different Federal Reserve bank where all of your funds from work are now going to be direct deposited directly here, If you happen to overdraft, don't worry. It goes straight to the Federal Reserve. We've got you covered. So you're doing away with fiat? No. We have fiat. We're just, the US dollar now is just going to be a digital currency. Paper money's just, people don't trust it. Why do that when we can just simplify everything? Make it easier on you, the people. They're going to slowly roll it in to make us believe that we secretly asked for this. Which I guess in a way we did when we started adopting Bitcoin. I mean, I can even say it. That's what got me, is the technology. The fact that it solved what man was doing wrong. It found a simpler solution. Is it bad that by October of 2020, all of the US is going to be a blockchain? Maybe, maybe not. But yes, we're still human beings, flesh, blood, whatever, but when you really look at it, at the end result, we're going to be nothing but digital assets that the United States government owns, controls, and manipulates, instead of manipulating a worthless slip of paper. They're going to be manipulating people. Think about it. All of your private information that you were given at birth, that the United States government themselves has told you, do not share with anybody. Now they're wanting you to put it into a database that is not going to be controlled by one person. So now that means it's got to be public. But no, it's private. But how can it be private but not be owned by one? Oh, it just is. No, it's because it's on a blockchain. It's because the government is trying to treat us like we're still fucking stupid. And we're letting them. Makes you wonder where it's going to go after they take our bank cards and turn our bank cards and our IDs into the same thing. Oh, wait. You keep losing this ID. You keep having to renew it. You know what? Maybe by 2060, the government's going to talk us into, well, Instead of that big old bulky 4-inch piece of plastic that you carry around everywhere that you can't seem to hang on to because you get busy in life. You get holes in pockets. Well, why don't we just save you the hassle of ever losing it again? By October 1st of 2060, it'll be mandated that when you go to the DMV, instead of getting your driver's license, you're going to get your first driving chip. But wait, it's more than just a chip. It's your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security card, your fingerprint, your bank card, your library card, your Diners Club card, your credit card. Anything and everything you want. You just show this. And they'll put down that that number right there owns this. It'll go into your little database over here. It'll just be put into a block on a blockchain that is tied back to a private key. We will hold our public key, our driver's license number, but we'll never get that decryption key, because once that public key signs something, yada yada, next thing you know, it becomes encrypted. So nobody else can see it except for the government and me. But wait, when the government moves this over to here, I see, I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss for words, because I could be making something out of nothing. I could be reading too much into this. I could be putting pieces together that don't belong together. As a matter of fact, Andreas Antonopoulos, I want to hear your theories on this. I want you to come out and tell me what I got wrong in this theory. What is impractical about this? What do you feel the implications are? Because to me, yes, we see other countries joining on blockchains. I don't see anything wrong with that when the government does it for its agencies, whatever, But do not force your citizens to jump on board. Don't tell them if they don't do this and become part of this, then you're not a federal citizen. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. I always have been a firm believer that Bitcoin itself was revolutionary. It was needed. It was cool. It was different. It was secret. It was still secret when I first learned about it. I'm not going to go tell my whole story, but when I heard about it, I didn't even tell people because of the fact that nobody at that time had heard of it. How I got lucky enough to hear about it, I don't know. Right place, right time, I guess. Had I stayed in it from the first time I heard about it, God knows where I'd be right now. But There's a reason the U.S. government is fighting so hard for regulations. It's because they know that they can't do anything with it until they can control it. Or at least give us the illusion that they control it. And that we're not smart enough to know the inner workings. America, the rest of the world sees what our government does. A vast majority of our population is starting to open their eyes and see past the smoke cloud that we've been hanging under for centuries. I hope everybody that watches this doesn't believe me. I don't want any of y'all to believe me. I want you to just keep playing the game that we're playing now, because if everybody believes what the hell I say, it's going to if everybody at one time realized the knowledge that I've taken the time to see over decades, if everybody knew how to see the truth in what we're given every single day by our government, they show us every single day that they're lying to us. And they convince us they're telling us the truth. If we all opened our eyes and saw it at once, I don't want to know what the outcome could be, because trying to imagine it, it scares me. Now, with that being said, I want everybody to remember, I firmly, truly, with all of my heart, 100% believe October 1st of 2020, when this real ID card is required and everybody's forced to adopt it, that's the day that technology wins. We no longer become people, and we all become digital assets of the United States government. We become property. We become owned. We lose our free will. That's just my view on it. God, I hope I'm wrong. But if you stop and think about it, I don't think I am. And I'm dead serious. I hope somebody gets this video to Andreas Antonopoulos and that he either clarifies some things that I messed up, or totally disproves me, or backs me up. I don't care. I want to know his views, though. I have not, nor do I think he will, because I don't really think I've ever heard him speak on this issue and I don't know that anybody on the government side or even the crypto space, I don't really think anybody wants the main public to see how extremely close we are to the new age. And as far as the governments, if I was asked to remove the video by them, I might take a bribe. Or I might just do it because if I refuse, they'll kill me. But, hey, well, if that were the case, I'd deal with it then. But if somebody from the crypto space quietly said, hey, could you get rid of that video that's not supposed to be out? I would gladly remove it and all of that. But the fact that I have not found a single video on YouTube from anybody pointing at the correlations and the connections and the similarities and the everything of what this is implicating. I've gone on a hell of a lot longer than I wanted to. So, down in the comments section, let's see what everybody thinks. And like I said, I'm going to put a Bitcoin address down in the description, as well as a PayPal. And if you think that I'm wrong about everything going crypto, or, well, going to a digital form, if you believe I'm wrong on that, donate a few bucks to the PayPal. Show me that you support this interesting debate by putting your money where your mouth is. Go ahead and throw me a donation in PayPal. That way I know that you're for Team Fiat and that you think we're always going to have the dollar, yada yada. And on the flip side of that, if you're watching this video and you believe that I'm onto something and that you think that I might be right, show your support by donating a few thousand Satoshis or a few hundred Satoshis or hell, a whole Bitcoin if you can afford it. But I figure that would be an interesting way for me to see where people stand, because if you're willing to back up what you believe in by putting that currency as backing, it'll give me a way to see. Something tells me that the Bitcoin community is a little more generous than the fiat currencies. I think people tend to be more supportive in the digital world than they do in the real life nitty gritty, I'll kill you at the ATM for $5 type people. But I might be wrong. We'll see. Anyway, PayPal, if you believe that I'm just fucking a loony bin. And Bitcoin address if you think I'm onto something. we're going to make a little game of this and see which side wins. Today is October 17th, 2019. I'm going to give this PayPal Bitcoin competition 7 days from today. So on October 24th, I will make a small, very short video that announces which side got the most donations. And who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and in those 7 days, this video have got back to Mr. Antonopoulos, and maybe I can give you guys a little bit of enlightenment from his side, or maybe even post a link to the video if he does one, or whatever. I just think this will be interesting. Tell me what you think. The Real ID being the first real lie on the US blockchain, or a crypto enthusiast losing his mind? Only time's going to tell. Appreciate you guys for listening. I know that it's boring not seeing who's talking, but I figured it also threw in a bit of that eerie quality of fake hiding my identity. I mean, shit. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed, guys, because I'm tired, and that was just mentally draining. Till next time, everybody be safe, show your neighbor some love, and when you get blessed, pay it forward to somebody a little under the way and bless them. If we all blessed each other, this world would be a better place. Love you guys. Later.